Okay, so now we do the goodish headlines of the day. I tell you about some good things happening, and that's, I think, good for morale, even though it often brings up a lot of bad things happening in indirect ways. But let's check it out. So first up, hundreds of corrections being issued for Texas's Bible-infused curriculum. Sounds good. Tennessee's felony law when local officials vote for, quote, sanctuary policies is ruled unconstitutional. Yeah, you cannot make it illegal to vote for certain types of policies that you don't like. AI-generated film pulled from AMC cinemas. Yeah. Former Republican President Donald Trump Cabinet Secretary Ryan Zinke won't seek re-election to a Montana U.S. House seat, saying, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a loser." Minnesota launches investigation that could bring charges against federal immigration officers. Yeah, break the law. You will be held accountable, whether you're Greg Bovino or some other Nazi. Republican President Donald Trump administration drops lawsuit against law firms after judges find president's orders unconstitutional. Unfortunately, this is a situation where this was reversed midweek. But hey, still some goodish news that these extremely tenuous cases to try to control private businesses are potentially being forsaken or given up on. Detroit man whose confession to 1999 murder was coerced by rogue cop released from prison. Happens all the time. U.S. judge says Republican President Donald Trump's effort to end New York City congestion pricing is unlawful. These are small government Republicans for you. Small government Republicans trying to get the federal government to intervene on city government policy. That's small government Republicans for you. But a judge says, sorry, guys. Greek court upholds criminal convictions for far-right Golden Dawn party, saying, why don't you start a band or something? Jurassic Park paleontologist parts ways with university after Epstein emails. This guy was closely affiliated and spent time with Epstein and sent really sus emails about it. World's most hoarding wealth individual, Elon Musk's proposed Hitler-saluting company Tesla tunnel loop met with opposition by Nashville Metro Council. People do not want to be affiliated with this goon. Judge orders U.S. Customs to process refunds on illegal Republican President Donald Trump and Republican tariffs. Judge blocks DeSantis. I always forget that DeSantis is still around. Judge blocks DeSantis' declaration of Muslim group as a terrorist organization. This is just a fucking Muslim support. Like, this is a group to support the rights of Muslims. Bro, and you literally see these politicians like just straight up, and people just straight up be like, yeah, we got to crack down on Muslims. As a Jewish person, like, that's not okay. Islamophobia right now is way more of a problem than anti-Semitism and has been for decades. And I will say that readily acknowledging anti-Semitism is a pretty significant problem. As I talked about in the Anna Kasparian Goyim clip. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a problem for sure. But like, you don't see politicians straight up being like, we need to crack down on Jews. It's crazy. It's crazy. We got to support our Muslim brothers and sisters and siblings of all kinds. Islam is cool and fine. Religion is fine. It's fundamentalist religion that is bad. And it's not advocacy groups that are bad. You know, this is not an advocacy group like the ADL is an advocacy group either. I'm quite sure. But even that would not be a terrorist organization, even though they support terrorism through supporting the Zionist death in the state of Israel. Anyway, so a judge said, hey, man, you're going to have to tone down the racism slightly at least. Sam Altman backpedals as ChatGPT uninstalls surge 295%, and critics torch Pentagon fiasco, calls deal opportunistic and sloppy. So people are getting rid of this. I mean, if like why you would ever use this program, even if it was led by an ethical man who didn't have serious abuse allegations against him, by the way, look it up. And also just running this company that obviously is collaborating with the worst kind of government activities that you would ever imagine. So why you would ever use this program, even if it was like not having those qualities, like beats me. I don't know. I like thinking for myself and doing actual research and stuff. But oh my God, I was watching a YouTube video last night about it was like some TLC show just came out. It was about a woman who like is in love with her AI, but the AI, the AI is like a bad partner. Like it's like a toxic male, like sort of psychologically abusive, like, but very toxic male partner. It was a very sad and interesting story, and I'm sure the woman will come out of it eventually, but it was crazy to think like, oh wow, you could make your own AI and it could have bad qualities too, and you could like almost you could fall in for that in the same way you might in an abusive relationship. It's unusual because we're used to thinking of, okay, at least people make the AI be polite and nice to them and so on. But this woman, because of stuff she'd been through, was not ready for a healthy relationship, I think. But anyways, it was, fascinating and really sad and scary. And it was like a very normal seeming person, very normal seeming woman. People like Sam Altman, I hope, face serious criminal charges in the near future. An Epstein associate steps down from Japanese government tech project. This is Joichi Ito. So all these people should be held deeply accountable. This is just the beginning, stepping down from projects. U.S. judge voids 2025 actions taken by Carrie Lake as Voice of America CEO, including job cuts, saying, "You broke the law, you loser." Professor accused of murder by TikToker awarded $10 million. So some random, like, quote-unquote psychic YouTuber was accusing some professor of a horrible, gruesome murder that happened, like a quadruple murder, on Vibes. Yeah, that's not free speech, actually. There's limits. Republican President Donald Trump administration says Nashville reporter arrested by ICE goons will get due process. Wow, that's amazing. And that is so amazing. Could we get a different image? Jesus Christ. I feel like I need to like block out the bottom. That's amazing. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Wow, someone is going to get due process. That's so cool to think about and to hear about. Like okay, they arrested this person, but they're going to give them due process. That's crazy. Wow. So it's really nice to see. I sometimes there's like these beautiful gifts in the world, you know? And just luck of the draw, like, wow. Like really, that's kind of really validating and cool. Like someone's going to get due process. And I wonder what that's going to feel like. And maybe it's going to be kind of a good time. It's something to consider maybe more in the future. Senators demand investigation after 9th American killed by Zionist ethno state Israeli settlers or soldiers in West Bank. Now, the difference between settlers and soldiers is a very, very minor one, especially when they're going around murdering people. Murdering, obviously, hundreds of Palestinians in the West Bank in the last, I don't know. Like, they're murdering so many Palestinians. Sometimes they murder Americans as well. Apparently, by the 9th American, the senators in our country are like, oh, maybe we should actually try to hold our quote-unquote greatest ally accountable. Like, Israel's West Bank settlements are illegal. They are illegal by international law. They are as illegal as like the United States going and settling in Mexico. Like, you cannot do that. They are illegal. They are breaking the law. And then they're murdering people, too. Because if they weren't being held accountable for some laws, why would they be held accountable for others? So maybe our senators should wake up. And just as we wake up when U.S. soldiers get killed in Kuwait, you know, maybe like it's really sad that we actually are only apparently caring about Americans rather than people killed by Americans. Because as an individual, your responsibility is not just for yourself, it's for the consequences of your actions. It's the same for a country. So, we don't just have to protect, Americans. We also need to protect victims of Americans and victims of American allies. And we need to stop supporting Israel. We need to completely cut off support. We need to sanction Israel. More than any country we've ever sanctioned before, we need to drop sanctions on other countries and stop intervening in other countries. The most we should ever intervene is by those sort of diplomatic methods. You know, obviously barring like international coalitions and stuff like that. I believe it's possible, like say there's another Hitler in a country, like you could have an international coalition go and do some sort of stuff. But even then, you should try every diplomatic method before any violence. You know, we did not need to murder Khamenei. We did not need to arrest Maduro. It's insane. We have no right to do that. We didn't not only not need to, we are not allowed to. That's not how the law works. So you're not allowed to do that. Unilaterally do that, or dual laterally with the Zionist ethno state of Israel. So yeah, maybe it's goodish news, right? Because we're maybe going to have an investigation into why we keep working with a country that's murdering people everywhere. And what Israel is doing to Lebanon right now, besides like what they're doing to Tehran and what we're doing to Iran, and like, but Israel's just fucking bombing Lebanon, like to shit. Like they're just bombing Iran, bombing Lebanon. Like they just do whatever they want. They're just murdering people. And I hate these other news articles I see. Oh, the death toll is at 300 in Lebanon in the last whatever week of the death toll. A toll is something you pay when you're driving on the road. A toll is something necessary but unpleasant. A death toll is a euphemism. And you never see the word murdered. You only see strikes, attacks, stuff like that. It's murder. And then you see 300 or something, not 300 people, 300 human lives. Israel has murdered over 300 people in Lebanon, as far as I saw, like yesterday or something, in the last, week, right? Like they've been murdering people everywhere. The U.S. has murdered hundreds, if not 1,000 or more people in Iran in the last week. We have murdered them. We've killed them. Imagine we beat them to death with our fists. Like that's what we did, except even worse and more brutal. We murdered them. We fucking stabbed them with knives and slit their throats and we slashed them to pieces. We murdered them. That's what we did. And Israel is murdering people in Lebanon. They have no right to do that. I don't care how many terrorists are in Hezbollah. You don't have the right to just murder people. That's not how it works. It's always the same justification. It's not how it works. It's the exact same justifications that happen on interpersonal scales, where people go, "Oh, that person was a bad person, so I get to be a bad person to them," or something like that. It's just not okay. It's not. These people need to be held accountable. I want to see it. I want to see it soon. I want to see international law step up. I want to see new leadership in the United States, and I want to see us actually join forces with international law and actually join the ICJ and actually participate in international law and create an actually better world where we don't rely on the biggest and strongest countries to be vigilantes and murder people whenever we want to. The reason that the United States doesn't have the right to kill Khomeini is the same reason you don't have the right to kill your neighbor, even if they're like a pedophile, even if they are a violent person, even if they are a murderer. I hate to say it, but even if your neighbor is a murderer, you can't go kill them. And I don't want to live in the world. We talked about this with Better Call Saul, Mike Ehrmantraut, killing those cops, sorry. That's not how it works. Well, I don't want to live in a world of vigilante, quote unquote, justice. Unbelievable and so unpopular. All right, this is a goodish news segment. Appeals court upholds protected status for 350,000 Haitians who are in the United States legally. The D.C. Circuit Court ruled against the Republican administration, ensuring Haitians who are legally in the United States can keep working and living here while an underlying lawsuit proceeds because our government is incredibly racist. And lastly, on the goodish news segment, divisive FDA vaccine regulator Vinay Prasad is resigning. Basically, he's just some foolish loser. So great. Okay. A foolish loser grifter, all these complete losers. These people who sell their souls. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. All right. So that's the goodish news segment. It's important to look at this stuff, I think.